Here is something almost every growing business is quietly sitting on, and most are a little afraid to open it. Your customer list. It started as a clean spreadsheet, then years of reality happened. The same customer entered 3 times with free spellings of their name, phone numbers in 5 different formats, some with a country code, some without, empty cells where an email should be, a tab from an old system, an export from your point of sale, and a pile of business cards someone once typed in at midnight. It is the most valuable list you own, and it is a mess you cannot actually use. Today I want to show you a calmer way to fix it. Not buying an expensive system and migrating everything, and not spending a weekend cleaning cells by hand, but using an AI assistant to standardize the formats, flag the likely duplicates, fill the obvious gaps, sort your customers into useful groups, and even draft a message to win back the quiet ones. One honest note first, and it matters more here than anywhere. This is your customer's personal data, so keep it in tools you trust, and the AI never sends anything or changes your live records on its own. It proposes, you check, and you decide. Keep that rule in mind, and this becomes genuinely useful. Let us start with where most owners are stuck and call it level 0. A messy customer list fails you in 2 ways, and both cost you money. The first is that you cannot trust it. Duplicates mean you count the same person twice, message them twice, and look careless. Inconsistent formats mean you cannot sort, filter, or import it anywhere without it breaking. The second way is worse. Because the list is painful to use, you stop using it. That whole list of past customers, people who already bought from you and would happily buy again, just sits there gathering dust while you spend money chasing brand new strangers. Neither problem is the list's fault. The data is fine, it is just disorganized. And disorganized is enough to make your single best marketing asset completely unusable. There is a middle path, and it is level 1. What a clean list needs. Before we touch any tool, get clear on what a clean list actually looks like, because an assistant is only as good as the target you give it. A usable customer list has 4 qualities. First, consistent formats. Every name, phone number, and email written the same way, so it sorts and imports without breaking. Second, no duplicates. Each real customer appearing exactly once, with their history merged into one row. Third, no obvious gaps, the blanks filled in where the answer is clear from the rest of the data. And fourth, useful groups. Your customers tagged by type, so you can talk to the right people instead of blasting everyone. Consistent, deduplicated, complete, and grouped. That is what good looks like, and naming it out loud is what lets you tell an assistant exactly what to fix. That 4-part target is the brief you hand the AI. Brief it on your data. Here is the shift that makes this work. You do not hand a spreadsheet to an AI and say clean this, because a vague request risks it changing things you did not want touched. Instead, you brief it, the way you would brief a careful assistant you trust with sensitive files. You tell it what each column is, what good looks like, and what it must never do, like this. Column A is full name, B is mobile number, C is email. Put every number in local format, flag anything that looks like a duplicate but do not delete it, and never invent an email you do not have. Then you let it work through the rows. You bring the judgment, what the data means, and where the lines are. It brings the patience, checking thousands of rows without getting bored or sloppy. That trade is the whole game, as long as you keep the sensitive part in a tool you trust. The cleanup workflow. Now the actual workflow, the part you can copy, because once you run it a few times, it becomes second nature. It is 5 steps. Step 1, get your list into one place, a single export from your spreadsheet or your system. Step 2, brief the AI on what each column is, the format you want, and your firm rule to flag rather than delete. Step 3, let it do the work, standardizing the names, phones, and emails, marking the likely duplicates, filling only the gaps it can be sure of, and tagging customers into groups you name. Step 4, and this step never gets skipped, you review. You scan its changes, confirm the duplicates before merging, and check nothing important was altered. Step 5. Once the list is clean, you can ask it to draft a re-engagement message for a group you choose. Consolidate, brief, clean, review, and draft. That whole loop turns a job you have dreaded for a year into an afternoon. one list start to finish. Let me make that concrete with a made-up example. Picture a small gym run by an owner we will call Marcus. Marcus is a stand-in for a lot of owners I speak to. He has a spreadsheet of about 800 members and lapsed members built up over 5 years, and it is a state. He exports it to a single file and opens his AI assistant. He explains the columns, asks for phone numbers in one local format, emails in lowercase, and any likely duplicate flagged but never deleted. The AI works through it and reports back. It standardized every phone and email, flagged 12 pairs that look like the same person entered twice, and filled a handful of blank name fields it could infer from the email. Then Marcus asks it to tag members as active, lapsed, or trial only. With a clean grouped list, he asks for a warm win-back message aimed only at the lapsed group. He reads the 12 flagged duplicates himself, merges the 11 that are real, keeps the one that is genuinely 2 people, reads the draft message, adjusts the tone, and only then sends it to that group. That is level 1. Now let me name the real difference this makes, because it is not only about tidiness, it is about turning a dead asset back into a working one. Level 0 is chaos. The list is duplicated, inconsistent, and full of gaps, so you cannot trust the numbers, cannot import it anywhere, and quietly abandon it, leaving your best customers unmarketed too. Level 1 is order. The list is consistent, deduplicated, and sorted into groups, so you can actually use it, talk to the right people, and win back customers you had written off. Your job shrinks from days of manual cell editing to reviewing a set of proposed changes. You are still fully in control, and nothing touches your live records or your customers until you approve it. The work goes from dreading the spreadsheet to directing a cleanup, and that shift is what turns your oldest list into your next month of sales. You check before any mass action. This part is not optional, and here it matters more than in anything else we cover, so I want to be very direct. This is your customer's personal data. First, keep it in tools you trust, because a customer list of names, numbers, and emails is exactly the kind of data you have a duty to protect, so do not paste it into some random free website you have never heard of. Second, confirm every merge before it happens, because 2 customers with the same surname are not automatically the same person, and merging them loses real history. Third, let the AI fill a gap only when the answer is certain from the data, and never let it invent a phone number or an email, because a made-up contact detail is worse than a blank one. And fourth, read every message before it goes out, and respect people's choice to hear from you, sending only to those who expect it. This sounds cautious, and it should, because with customer data, careful is the whole point. The AI does the patient sorting. You keep the data safe and hold every decision that touches a real person. What this buys you. So what do you actually get out of this? 3 things. First, a list you can finally trust, because the duplicates are gone and the formats are consistent, so your numbers are real and it imports anywhere. Second, your best marketing asset back, because a clean grouped list of past customers is far cheaper to sell to than chasing strangers, and now you can actually reach them. Third, hours of dull work you never have to do by hand, because the sorting that would have cost you a weekend of squinting at cells is done in an afternoon of reviewing. You are not handing your customers to a robot. You are just refusing to let a messy spreadsheet waste your most valuable list while keeping every real decision yours. It's a simple way to start. If you want to try this, here is the low-effort way to begin, and it is smaller and safer than you think. Do not pour your entire database in on day 1. Take a small slice, maybe 100 rows, into a tool you trust. Tell the AI what each column is, ask it to standardize the formats and flag any duplicates without deleting, and see how it does. Review its work closely, confirm the duplicates yourself, and check it changed nothing it should not have. That is it. One small batch cleaned the new way with you watching. You will feel 2 things at once: how much patient work it takes off your hands, and exactly why the review step and the trusted tool rule matter when real customer data is involved. Get comfortable on a small slice, and scaling up to the whole list will feel safe instead of scary. The honest limits. And because I promised no hype, here are the honest limits, and please take them seriously with data like this. And AI is guessing at duplicates from patterns, so it will miss some and wrongly flag others, which is exactly why a human confirms every merge. It cannot know a fact that is not in your data, so a filled gap is only ever a reasonable inference you must sanity check, never a certainty. It has no idea about your obligations under privacy rules, so the duty to handle this data lawfully and keep it in trusted tools stays entirely with you. And it will cheerfully draft a message to everyone. So respecting who has agreed to hear from you is your call, not the tools. Use the assistant to standardize, to flag, to sort, and to draft, and keep the merging, the sending, and the safeguarding firmly in your hands. Do that, and it earns its place. Skip that, and you have automated a privacy problem at scale. Quick recap. Let me pull it together. Level 0 is a messy customer list full of duplicates, inconsistent formats, and gaps, so painful to use that you abandon your most valuable asset. Level 1 is briefing an AI assistant, inside a tool you trust, to standardize the formats, flag likely duplicates, fill the certain gaps, sort customers into groups, and draft a re-engagement message while you review every change and hold every decision. The workflow is 5 steps. Consolidate the list, brief it on your columns and rules, let it clean and flag, review before merging, and draft carefully. You keep the data in tools you trust, you confirm every merge, and you read every message before it sends. A list you can trust, your best asset back, and a weekend of work done in an afternoon. If your customer list has become a mess you are afraid to open, this is the workflow that turns it back into your most valuable asset, safely and without a lost weekend. And we made a free step-by-step course that walks you from level 0 to level 1 in plain language, no jargon and no technical background needed. It shows you how to get an AI assistant onto your own computer, working with your own files in tools you control, so you can try this on a small slice of your real list instead of taking my word for it. Head to aifirstasia.com/level1 and take the free course. Do it once, clean one small batch the new way, and feel the difference for yourself. And if you want more of this, practical AI workflows built for SME owners, honest and no hype, then subscribe. Level 1 is right there. Go take the step.